What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. Look, I'm sitting here trying to make sense of this story, and the more I think about it, the more ridiculous it gets. Glorilla's house was robbed. Armed men broke in her house while she was out of town. Her family does what any family would do, defend themselves. Her brother shoots at the robbers trying to protect the family. Over $700,000 worth of items were stolen. $700,000 gone. And what do the police decide to do? They lock up the victim.
It's now been a little more than 2 months since this traumatic event took place. Why are you deciding to speak out now?
Well, because I feel like me and my brother and sister, we were victims in this situation, but somehow they're trying to paint us out to be suspects, and I just feel like that's all the way wrong.
Grammy-nominated rapper Glorilla sitting down for her first TV interview since she and her family became the victims of a home invasion in July.
Hello.
Her lawyers Drew Fenling and Marissa Goldberg have asked her to refrain from talking about the specifics of the incident, citing the ongoing investigation. But they told me that the hip-hop superstar, whose real name is Gloria Woods, was in Indianapolis performing during the WNBA All-Star Weekend when 3 armed intruders broke into her Forsyth County home in the middle of the night. A family member fired at the burglars, but they got away before police arrived.
Over $700,000 of items were stolen from her home. And so her brother and sister naturally called the police when this was all going on.
But according to court documents, when investigators searched the home, they found a significant amount of marijuana and charged her with felony possession of marijuana. She voluntarily surrendered and was released on bond the same day.
You have to think about not only the effect to Gloria and her family, but also to folks who see what happened here.
Well, the most egregious part is that there seems to be no movement whatsoever in this home invasion, but rather within 24 hours there were warrants for her arrest.
Let's be clear, Glo wasn't even there. She was in Las Vegas for WNBA All-Star Weekend. But 2 days later, she the one turning herself in on felony charges for some weed. Yes, weed. Not cocaine, not fentanyl, not heroin. Weed. Something that's legal in half the damn country. And this is what blows my mind. If she was selling it, they would have hit her with an intent to distribute. But they didn't, which means this is not about trafficking. This is about possession. So instead of focusing on the 3 armed men that broke in her house, they focusing on some weed. Explain that to me. Where's the common sense? Where's the urgency to catch the real criminals? Because last time I checked, Glo didn't rob her own house. She was the one who got robbed. But now her and her family are being treated like suspects in their own home invasion. Let that sink in. What message does that send? The real suspects are out there, while Glo is in court fighting a possession case. This is what happens when the system cares more about easy wins than real justice. Arresting a rapper for weed? Easy. Finding the 3 men who broke in her house? That takes actual work. So instead of protecting a family that was terrorized, they criminalize them. Her attorney called it unconscionable, and I'm gonna call it exactly what it is: ridiculous. And this is why people don't trust the system, because common sense gets thrown out the window. Anybody with a brain can see this is backwards. A woman loses $700K in a robbery, and the story is about marijuana. What about her safety? What about the fact that her family was traumatized? Does that even matter? Or is the only thing that matters is putting her face on a mugshot? And speaking of that mugshot, Glo did what a lot of rappers do. She flipped it into merch. She made money off the situation. But just because she turned pain into profit, don't mean the situation ain't wrong. This ain't about merch. It's about justice. And justice is not being served. Not when the people who robbed her are not even being pursued. Somebody tell me, how does this make sense? Because to me, it don't. Not in the least. If the system can't protect the woman in her own home, what good is it? If the system cares more about possession than protection, what are we doing here? Glo said it best herself. This is all the way wrong. And until this gets fixed, the system is failing. But that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Established Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.